right now give it up for my main man, Simon Chan.
Let's hear from Mr. Simon Chan.
Yeah, yeah!
Mr. Simon Chan!
You know, getting back to the self-development, because I always like to talk about it. Sometimes, you know, you buy a book, or you people say it's expensive, whatever. Sometimes the book, all you need is one idea that can change your business. Okay, like even when you go to USANA convention, right, or event like today, it could be any event. Sometimes you're not going to remember everything, but all it takes is one idea, one aha moment that can change something. You know, how many of you are going to convention? Right, awesome. You know, convention event is so important. One of the things that helped me grow in the last 2 years is, especially the last year, right, we had those problems, is I actually developed a policy. If you want to work with me, like for example, I sponsor you, and you don't go to convention, I just tell you don't sign up. I refuse to take your phone call because you guys know, have you ever met, I mean, Mike, have you ever met anyone who's been successful, makes over $1,000 a week, who's never been to convention? Never. Have you met anyone who's successful doesn't go to convention? I've never met anyone who's successful doesn't go to convention. So if you're not going to be successful, then you're wasting your time. You're wasting my valuable time to train you. So I might as well, I don't want to make the $200 by signing up. Just don't join USANA. I don't want you. Okay? And that actually has helped grow my business because it's allowed me to focus my time on the people who really going to be future leaders instead of working with the people who are just like coming in and not serious. So convention is huge. It's important. I'm not saying you have to be as strict as I am about it, but it's just like not working you down if you don't come. But that's how important it is. Okay, it's very, very important. At every convention, I've always learned one thing. Yeah, one year I learned something that made me an extra $60,000. It helped me jump to like Ruby. 1 year. There's one thing, just one strategy in marketing to open up my mind. You know, and I'm going to talk about, you know, my first convention. That's when I got the vision to go out to Asia. But before I want to go into that, I want to share one thing about the. I was just talking to someone before about the mindset, about changing the way you think. You know, sometimes we say that, oh, my situation is like this like that. Stop thinking. Stop saying to yourself, my situation. Because when you say my situation, you're making it sound like you, and do you ever say this to yourself, my situation? You're making it sound like you're different from everyone else. But the reality is, your problems, your situation is the same. Everyone's got problems. Everyone's got bad situations. I got bad situations. All right? You got bad, but we still make it happen. So just by saying my situation is this, you're making it sound like, oh, you're making excuses already. There's no excuses. No excuses. You can either make money or make excuses. The second thing was, you know, I met another associate who was like, you want to be successful and do everything what successful people want to do, right? Copy them. So it's good. And, you know, they've been in the business for 1 month or so, talk to only 12 people. So if you want to be successful, that's good. I mean, you're here learning the training. But if you want to be successful, you can't take 1 month to talk to 12 people. You need to talk to 12 people in 2 days, not 1 month. If you're going to, you know, talk to 12 people in a month, it's going to be like, you know, the network marketing for dummies, the 5-year plan. It's going to be like the ultra dummy plan with 20 years to be successful. All right? It's going to take forever because this business is you got to go fast, right? You know how fast it is? It's like. Fast is like when you have all these text messages calling you, all these phone calls. Oh, you got to follow up with these people. It's so stressful. It's stressful. I got so many people to follow up. I don't even have time. Like I got to call this person. I got another phone call at 1, another phone call at 1:30, a follow-up at 2. I got to drive here to do a presentation at 3. When it's crazy like that, that's when you know your business is growing. And that's when the business is fun. This business is fun when you're going fast, right? Right? But when you have like nothing to do, one meeting a day, and then the rest of the day you're at home, I'm telling you, that's miserable. Boring. Right? Mike knows. Mike is always working. Right? You have like one meeting set up and you're done for the day. What are you going to do? You're like so boring. But when you're like, oh, I got calls here, your phone's ringing off the hook. You got like 5, 10 phone calls to make. That's when you're growing. And you got to get into that frantic pace. And you got to do that for 5, like I said, the dummy plan, 5-year plan. And you'll make big money. Most people, they take it slow. There's no urgency. And that's one of the toughest in the mindsets. Like, if you take 5 people a month, yeah, no one's going to fire you. Oh, you'll make you feel comfortable. You're not growing. You're fooling yourself. You're not growing. Okay, you got to go fast, the fast pace. And some people say, oh, I don't have time. Everyone has time. It's just a matter of time management, right? I want to talk about time a little bit because I'm probably the most anal people about time. Okay, because time, when you first start off, you think, oh, if I have more people to talk to, I can make more money. I make more customers to make more money. The limit. What's the only limiting factor that that prevents you from making more? Like, for example, how can I make $2 million a year in USANA? What's the only thing that holds me back?
Yourself, talk to more people.
Yeah, well, okay. No, I'm very motivated. It's not myself, my mindset. I'm ready to talk to people. What's the only thing that limits me, prevents me from doing that? Time, right? I don't have time because I need to talk to how many people a day, but I only have 24 hours and I still want to spend time with my son, my wife, and still get sleep and still work out and do all those things, right? So time is your only limiting factor. So you really got to treasure your time really valuable. So, for example, the way I look at it, I'm probably going to field phone calls. I don't take incoming phone calls, right? So, because I'm either prospecting, do my 5 things. I'm prospecting, following up. I don't want disruptions. But if you text me, I'll text you right back. But my phone, I found this out. Scott actually told me this. Like, you can forward your iPhone, forward your phone. Right? You can get incoming text, but phone automatically forwards. Actually, the new iPhone actually have the whole thing set up where you can turn off your phone but still be online and all that. So if you want to talk to me, you got to make an appointment to talk to me. But after 1 p.m., I'm always available. If you used to make an appointment, 1 to 2. Now, if you need a 3-way, you text me, I'll be right there. And normally I'll reply back to text pretty quickly unless I'm napping or I'm working out, right? Then that's off limits. But you want to call me, you got to make an appointment. So time is very valuable because you have to eliminate disruptions. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you know what your hourly rate is? Okay, what's your hourly rate, Andrea? $50 an hour. Is it your job hourly rate or your USANA rate? Your job hourly rate, right? So $50 an hour, that means she makes $100,000. Right? For every $100,000, you're working 8-hour days, it's $50 an hour. So in USANA, what's your hourly rate? So that's one challenge. Everyone, you need to know what your hourly rate in USANA is. So how do you determine your hourly rate? So for example, Andrea, what's the type of income you want to earn realistically in a year or two in USANA? What type of income? $8,000 a week. So she wants to make $8,000 a week. That's $400,000 a year, right? Let's round it off to an easier number. Okay, let's make it easier. Let's make it an easier example. Okay, bring it down a little bit. Just say you just want to be a gold director. Gold director, 1,000 something a week. Just say if you're earning 1,000 a week. 1,000 a week. That means your hourly rate is $25 an hour. Right? That means if you work 8 hours, 8-hour days, 8-hour days, 5 days a week, that's $25 an hour. Right? So how many of you want to make $100,000? You be a Ruby director, $100,000 in USANA. Yeah? That means your hourly rate is $50 an hour. So you're going to get, but in order to get $50 an hour, you're going to be doing $50 an hour work. Not watching TV, not bumming around, not like doing some random internet surfing, not looking at funny cat videos on YouTube, okay? But people do crazy things, you know? Internet is great, it can also be bad, right? You look at it, you have to log into YouTube, the top most watched YouTube videos are like the stupidest videos, wasting time. So the way you have to look at it is $50. Your rate is, you want to make 100,000, right? TJ, right? TJ, you want to make $50, $100,000, $50 an hour. So your time, what's the 3 things you do? You prospect, right? You follow up, and you do presentations every day. That's the only, those 3 things. And you self-development, and you talk to your team. And you grow your list. So actually, it's 5 core, what I call the 5. We're skipping ahead a little bit, but this is so important. 5 core production activities you have to do every single day, right? To get the 5-5-3. Number 1, you got to be marketing. Marketing means It could be meeting new people, running advertising, or going to the gym, going to a party. You got to be meeting new people every day to expand your list. One of the big things mistakes people make is they have a list of 100 people, 200 people. They go through them, and they have no one else to talk to. And then they start expanding the list. But when then you expand, what happens? You get desperate. It's like almost every person you meet, you want to drag them into USANA, right? I've been down that road before. And what do people do? The more you chase after them, what do? The more they run away. Humans are evil. They like to play hard to get. Like in high school, like you guys who are younger, right? Or even the older ones. Like a guy goes after a girl. The more the guy chases, what happens to the girl? They run away. Well, but what happens if you chase the girl, all of a sudden start chasing her? And she's like, oh, what's going on? Right? All of a sudden she'll text you back. All of a sudden she starts you, hey, what's going on? How come Simon's not calling back? Right? People are like that, right? If like a whole bunch of guys keep chasing the girl like strings them along. So people like to play hard to get. Another thing, have you ever had a friend where, hey, I want to tell you something. Hey, I need a minute. I'm going to tell you something. They're so busy to listen to you. But if you say, hey, Robert, I got something to tell you. But wait, I shouldn't tell you. It's a secret. Let me tell you next week. Then what's he going to do? He's not coming after me. Right? So in prospecting, the more you chase, the more they run away. You have no posture. It's about confidence. You have to have posture and confidence. So if you're desperate for someone, you need that. It doesn't work, right? People are going to run away. So one of the important things is you got to build that database before you run out of people to talk to. To build those connections. So when you build someone new, well, it doesn't matter. I meet someone on the internet or internet marketing, or I meet someone at the gym. I don't try to prospect them right away because no one likes salespeople. Right? They're like, oh man, you just want to sell me. No one likes to be sold. But you say you build a relationship. I cultivate that relationship. We hang out. We build that trust. And after maybe a couple of weeks or a couple of months of trust, then when I tell them about USANA, do you think they'll be more open? Right? So that's the thing. You got to be marketing every day, expanding your list. Not like when during desperation mode, oh, I'm going to grab anyone into my business. Anyone some people say the 3 feet rule, which is good, but not 3 feet rule to bring them into the business. 3 feet rule to expand your list, build a relationship, go hang out with them, build trust. And Facebook is so easy now. You can build relationships, very easy, chit-chat, talk. It's very easy to build relationships. So number one, the core production activities. You have to build your list, right? Marketing. Number two is you got to be prospecting every day, right? Sharing the USANA opportunity every day. During presentations. 3 ways. Number 3, you got to be following up with people. Follow up. Someone you talk to, you got to follow up with them. Right? The fortune is in the follow-up. Most people only, sales are made after, 80% of sales are made after the 5th follow-up. But most people, they quit after 1 or 2 tries. Oh, the person doesn't pick up the phone. They automatically think, oh, the person's not interested. But we have a negative, we sabotage ourselves. We think negative. The 4th thing to do is self-development, learning every day. The reason I was able to get all that is, like I said, we study, we learn. Actually, I love long drives. I was talking about long drives. I love long drives. You know why? It's like a seminar. Like the whole seminar. I buy a whole tape, like 6 CD set. I can listen to the whole thing, like sitting through a seminar, and my ideas are going. Right? So that's a great time, seminars. Now, and then it's also a great time to talk to team members. You get a headset. Like yesterday, it was like the 4.5-hour drive seemed like 30 minutes. I spent like an hour on the coaching call. Actually 2 coaching calls. Actually, by the way, I take coaching clients now, one-on-one. Right? That's the funny thing, right? Funny thing is, hungry people are willing to pay me like over $100 an hour for coaching calls. I have a program. But then I have downlines who I'm willing to coach for free, but don't take it up. Go figure. I mean, some people you just can't. You can't push a horse to water, right? So I made 2 coaching calls. Then I talked to Scott for 30 minutes on strategy planning, wrapping up USANA week, and then I talked to getting ready for convention, and then I listened to some seminars. And I'm in my hotel. So fast. It's incredible. It goes by so fast. So self-development, right? Get audios. You have no time, get audios. So when I'm walking my dog, I walk him 4 times a day, right? Morning, noon for a quick pee break, at night, and then before we go to sleep. I spend about 30 minutes with my dog every day. So I'm listening to audios while I'm walking. The listening to audios or talking to my team members. Okay, maximizing time. The last thing is The fifth thing is you got to talk to your team. Talk to your team, talk to your upline. Okay? The people I work with is, I don't want to be chasing after you to call. You know, I tell my downlines, I have 50,000 people now. You're one of 50,000s of my business. But I'm 100% of your business. So it's the same with you guys. You're just 1% of your upline's business, but they're 100% of you. So you got to go out and call them. Call them. Talk to them 4 times a day, 5 times a day. When I was making those $100 checks, I was with my upline like 3, 4 times a day on the phone all the time. And when we talk, we're not talking about chit-chatting, how's the dog doing. No, we're talking about business. Who are your prospects? What's going on? How many 3-ways are you going? What's your weekly check? Even your volumes are pathetic. What are you going to do about that? You're like 100 points short on next check. What are you going to do? Go sell some products. Can you sell a reset? Can you sell some Ref3? Can you sell some Nutrimil? You have to communicate with your team. So those are the 5 things. Okay. Marketing, expanding your list. Number 2, prospecting. Number 3, follow up. Number 4, self-development. And number 5, talk to your team. Now, some people say, I don't have time. So getting back to TJ. TJ, he stepped out. I scared him away. You're going to take a what? Oh, okay. So, Liza, you want to make 100,000, right? So, Liza, $50 an hour. Your $50 an hour, your time has to be spent on those 5 things. Now, if you're watching some YouTube video, right? Maybe it's not with this funny cat, jumping cat, but something else. And you spent 15 minutes on that. How much did that cost you? $50 divided by 4 is what? $12.50. That just cost you $12.50. If you do some random internet surfing, took you 5 minutes, how much did that cost you? It cost you $5. You got to start approaching like you're watching some. Let's just take a 30-minute TV break. That cost you $25. $25 you could be making in your USANA business. Because in order to make $100,000, which is $50 an hour, you got to be doing $50 an hour work. So ask yourself, every time you're going out there, Facebook is great. Facebook is great for connecting. Facebook is the best and also the worst. Or you're clicking around looking at these random pictures. You just spent 10 minutes. That's another $10 down the drain. You got to be really anal about the time. Most people, the problem is when you start out, they don't teach you this in school. Right? Your time is very, very valuable. Very valuable. So one of the things is know what your hourly rate is. It's normally for every 50,000 is $25. Right? So my hourly rate is $250. That's the way I set it. You want to work with me? So every time I say I'm wasting time, I just spent $250. I spent 30 minutes. That's $125. Right? So actually, as you grow, like on the URL, we talked about like internet marketing, right? A lot of things. When I first started, I tried to do everything, like technical work. You don't need to know anything technical work. All that stuff can be outsourced now. Like my business card, that was all outsourced. I don't design anything. Now you may pay the guy because you know what happens is you spend 30 minutes doing technical work. I think that just cost me $125. But I could actually spend $100, outsource it, get someone to do it for me, and could use that money to build my USANA business. So your time is very, know what your hourly rate is, and look at the time thieves. And one of the best things to do to say, because Facebook is like great, but the worst, right? This is the best. This thing will totally create 2 hours in your life right now, easily, a day. Set a timer. You got to have a timer. So set like a 5-minute timer, a 15-minute timer, whatever the timer is. Once the timer goes up, you have to stop. And this gets over perfection. Sometimes you want to be perfect. I want to get the perfect website, send out the perfect email. Once the timer's up, you got to send it out. Okay? Once the timer's up, I got to stop Facebook, close it, shut it down, log it off, and just do my other stuff. I got to make the phone call. And it's also good for phone calls. Like I tell people, you have to make an appointment to talk to me. I have this I have an end time. If you talk to me, I give you 30 minutes. Well, it's 15 minutes where I tell the person, after 15 minutes, we got to go. So cut right to the chase. Let's talk. What do you need help with? Because, hey, that 50-minute phone call is like $75. $75 I'm losing. And that time is money I'd rather be spending my son. Because we only have 24 hours in a day, and I got to be prospecting. And you know what? As a leader, I used to think this is bad, but it actually helped my team. Okay? Because it got them to stop messing around, make them serious about the time. They got to be prospecting. You know, when I turned off my phone to forward, some of my leaders are upset. But actually, And what happens now, the good thing is, right, they got so used to just get my voicemail. Now when I don't forward it, no one calls me anymore. Right? But what happened, my leaders, I taught them to figure out things themselves. Because they used to call me small, oh, how do I change my ordership? I told you 3 times already. Go log in, go click on the icon, change it. Your ordership's not processing for another 4 weeks. Go look in there. But they all call me all the time. Now, they can't reach me. Right? So they figured it out. So now, none of my leaders call me for these things. Right? Oh, I created a YouTube video. Here, go watch it. It teaches you everything. I spent one time, 20 minutes to plan that video, record it, encode it, or whatever. It took me 1 hour. Now I don't have to take those phone calls anymore. Right? But because my time should be spent on those 5 things. Because your time is valuable. So you got to think like that. And everyone, and this was the big aha moment. It was like, I have a friend who's a multi-million dollar. He's like $50 million doing other businesses. Right? I want to pick his brain, get tips. I say, hey, I'll take you out to dinner. I'll take you out to lunch, a really nice lunch. I'm thinking to get a nice steak lunch, a $100 lunch. He says, Simon, I'd love to, but it's not worth it. That lunch is not. I said, what? That's a nice lunch. I'm thinking, but then he realized, hey, you can't afford my lunch. You can't afford my time. Because his time is like $1,000 an hour. I would have taken him to a $1,000 lunch, and there's no lunch that's a $1,000 lunch that I could afford. Right, so that's when I realized these people treat their time so valuable, but we're so callous of our time. Right? So watch how you spend your time. The countdown, the timer. Like I have it on my iPad, I have it on my phone. I mean, it's very good. You know, I like to write a lot. Eliza, you'll talk about my blog. How many of you read my blog, by the way? Okay, you can go to Simon W. Chan, subscribe to my blog. Sometimes, to write a lot, you got to read a lot. And my problem is I love self-development so much. Sometimes I find myself all of a sudden spending an hour reading, and not prospecting enough. Because your time got to be spent on 5 things. You can't be doing 5 hours in one thing and not the rest. You got to be doing all 5. So I said to myself, I get way too caught up with self-development. I love learning. So I just set myself a timer. 15 minutes of reading, and I got to be done. I got to go on to the next thing. That alone has made me more productive. When I write my blogs, 30 minutes got to be done. I have to get it afterwards. Then it's got to be said. Another 15 minutes of technical work, I'm done. No more than that. Because I used to take 4 hours to write. It's just wasting my time. So number one, know your hourly rate. Always ask you, are you doing that type of work? In your job, right? That's the problem. In an employee, in a job, if you're paid $50 an hour, you don't do $50 of work, what happens? You get fired. And USANA, no one fires you. Because the problem is, we hate, we love to be our own boss, right? We join USANA to be our own boss. Is that true? Yes. We like to be our own boss, but the thing is, we're terrible employees. Because we have to be our own boss and our own employee at the same time. We love to be bosses, but we're terrible employees, and we can't fire ourselves. So time management is very important, right? Do those 5 things. Now, getting back to events, why events are so important. In 2004, I went to the event, and I saw the vision. I saw all these people from different countries and different cities. And I was like, I want to grow a business in Asia. Now, that's not to say you need to grow in Asia, but that's what I wanted to do. But how? Right? I didn't know how. But the thing is, as long as you have goals in your vision, your subconscious mind will get you there. How many of you heard of subconscious mind? Right? Subconscious mind is good example is, say you want to go back, you want to go home. After a long day of work, you want to go home. Do you actually think about how you're going to get home? Driving? No. Right? But all of a sudden, you're home. You may be thinking about USANA. Well, hopefully you're thinking about USANA, right? No, but you may be thinking about other things. You may be talking to your friends or talking to your downline, listening to audios, but you're home. That's your subconscious mind working. But how did you get home? Because you actually gave the subconscious mind a target. Right? If you had no target, you'd probably get in a car accident. Right? So you give yourself a target, and you're driving, boom, you're home. Right? And it's so funny. You end up driving the same roads all the time. If I just think about that, there's probably 5 different ways to go. And sometimes it may be quicker ways to traffic, but you still go the same way. Because your subconscious mind knows that it's on autopilot. So for us to be successful, your subconscious mind would take you there, but you got to give it a target. So the vision is the target. Okay? And don't let perfection say, oh, how am I going to do it? Am I going to... Just do it. Just do it. The how will reveal itself later. Just do it. Okay. I thought I was going to be in Taiwan, China. It turned out that I was in Asia, in the countries I even knew where it was. It ended up being Malaysia and Singapore and the Philippines. I never thought I'd be in those countries. I thought I'd be in Taiwan, China. But the subconscious mind just say, Asia. And it took me there. So I'll just show you vision and action. You got to take action to success. When we go to new markets, it's big. Is this $1 million business? Big money, right? So we go there. I'm always big time. We go out there in new market. It's like going to battle. You got to bring, like, when the U.S. send troops, do they send like one tank over? No, they can bring these all cargo. They send everything over, right? This is when we went to Malaysia. I brought over like 500 health and freedoms. Invest money. You got to go all out. This is health and freedoms. I bought a projector, books, all these products. Cost a ton of money to ship them over. Okay, but hey, this is big money, $1 million business. It's not some small time business. Big money, right? So from there, 2 years later, this is our team. Okay, in Malaysia, Philippines. We started small. This is one of our first meetings. I met this guy through Facebook, and it's the one extra meeting sometimes. It's tiring. How I met this guy. Turns out his wife. He's the Emerald director, Ed Miguel. He's the guy who started everything. His wife was in Glendale in L.A. His wife said, touching story. Was like glad to leave two kids back home. The baby had to bring to the U.S. Had his in-law, mom had to take care of them because they had no money. So she was working as a maid in the Glendale, cleaning houses. And her husband was trying to make it happen. But he was hungry. I met her on Facebook. She said, I wanted you to be my wife before you come to the Philippines. So what time? Saturday. Saturday I was supposed to hang out with Kelly on Saturday. Saturday night. So call my wife. So I'll call the wife, right? It's that one extra phone call. You never know with a one extra phone call. I made a lot of phone calls where it didn't work out. But a one extra phone call, I called that person. And she was like, I could tell she didn't want to meet. She didn't want to do USANA. She was sick, She just wanted, I want to spend time with my baby. But her husband wanted to meet me. So we'll set it up. So then we go shopping to Camarillo and all that. Finally, the meeting was at 11:30 at night. Okay, 11:30 at night. You never know what the meeting that one person could be. 11:30 at night, we did a Skype meeting. Who was on there, and from then, that's how I got this guy. Now, not every good story comes true. When I was in the Philippines, at one time I did a meeting from 1:30 a.m. To 3 a.m. Now, that's a funny story. I was just talking about Philippines, right? People say my situation. Oh, I'm poor, I'm broke, I have debt. Philippines, a nurse only makes $170 a month. You could be CPA, makes $300. So their 1 BC costs more than a monthly salary. Impossible. How can they join USANA? So expensive. But I have over 500 people from Philippines join my business every week. How do they get the money? Hey, don't remember. Here's the one thing. Write this down. Remember the loser and the winner mentality, the mindset? Losers come up with excuses or come up with reasons why it can't happen. Losers come up with reasons. I'm sorry if I'm so mean and call them losers. But reality is, they come up with reasons why it can't happen. Winners ask themselves, how can it happen? How? Okay, so you may say, hey, the person has no money, I have no money, I can't do it. Give it reasons, excuses. And some of them are not even excuses, they're legit. Right? But they explain why it can't be done. The Philippines, it can't be done. No one can earn. No one can afford this stuff. Successful people ask them, how? How? So a lot of my Filipinos, what do? They borrow money. They sell stuff. And they do all, they call it like tingy-tingy, like, this is crazy. Like essentials, no one can afford essentials. So they go tingy-tingy, which means like they take the pill and they say, hey, how much money you have today? I have like $10, $5. Oh, good. Here's like 1 week's supply of essentials. They'll dispense. So I should put them in little white bags. Creative, entrepreneurial. Right? Actually, sometimes the more poorer people they are, the more entrepreneurial they are. They're creative. Sometimes we're stuck in our mindset. Oh, that you got to sell the essentials in the one way. There's many different ways. There are people like in Hong Kong, they get Nutri-Meal and they sell it by servings. So they can't afford a whole box. Hey, what are you having for breakfast? Hey, have $2. I'll make you a shake. They make a couple shakes. They sell actually, you can sell higher because the whole bag is whatever, $20. You sell like 9 servings. I think actually they sell for $3. They actually make a profit. So don't be stuck. Don't give reasons why you can't. Instead of ask how. How can you make it happen? So I just had someone, and it's not just the Philippines, in Walnut, in California, right? 18-year-old kid, he joined, and no money. So what he did, his mom, he did a garage sale. the last 2 weekends. Sold off all those Xbox games and PlayStations, things that are not going to make him any money. He sold them all and got enough to sign up with 3 Business Center. Like all the other old pet stuff, and they just sold the stuff, right? So don't come up with reasons why you can't. Oh, I got debt, I got this, I got family, because everyone has problems. Think of a how. How can you do it? So, one of my meetings was in the Philippines. 1:30 in the morning, and the Starbucks closed at 2 o'clock there. So 1:30 in the morning, I was like, oh man, let's do a meeting at 1:30. But remember, if you're a leader, always be humble. Remember when you first started, when you had no downlines. When I had no downlines, one person that called me, I'd be so happy to get a phone call, right? Oh yeah, run across town, I'll do any 3-way. So these people were asking me for, Simon, can you do a present? I was like, okay. I remember just imagine, I had no one, I'll be happy. So I did it. So 1:30 to 2, Starbucks closed. I thought, oh, thank goodness it closes. But then I realized they do the meeting after the meeting. Okay, so we go outside Starbucks, let's do some dim street lights, and you keep presenting there. Until 3 a.m., 3:30, and then I went to the airport, slept 1 hour on the gate, and then flew back home. Right? I wish it was a happy story, but that person never joined. But there's all other story. My other leader, Mel Claren, we did like a 12:30 a.m. in the morning meeting at the hotel. This guy, he was like an hour late, right? I did 11 o'clock, 12:30. That's what I did to present that person. That person ended up becoming my Ruby. He's a Ruby now, going for Diamond. Okay? In the Philippines, they're poor, they have no money, but I have 3 Diamond directors, 1 Emerald by 4 Rubies, and believe it or not, over 50 Golds in less than 3.5 years. Okay, they have no money, but people can find a way. Okay, I think sometimes it's about your desire. Sometimes we're too comfortable. I've traveled to so many different countries, and I always say that America is the best place. But sometimes we're so comfortable, we're spoiled. We don't know how bad other people have it. Now we live in the best place. We take so many things for granted. We have air conditioning here. In the Philippines, I'll be in a suit with fans, but people show up. So from there, the vision. This is our first meeting. I remember, just got there, became here. This is on the way to the airport after sleeping. Oh yeah, they lied to me too. They said, oh, so we'll just do a couple meetings. Next thing you know, we had the 1:30 a.m. meeting. Meeting after meeting. So this is when we first started the office. And here's something. People, doesn't matter how much. Sometimes, people say, oh, I'll join when you make money. Have you ever heard that? Yes, right? So how can you make money if people don't join? It's like the chicken and egg, right? So here's the big takeaway for today. This is how you get over that. People join not because of the money. People join because of your committed vision, your passion. If you're really committed, passionate about it, people will join you. If you're crazy passionate, you have a vision, they'll join you. Now, if you have made a lot of money and showed checks around, but you're not excited about a business, do you think people still join you? They'll not join you. They see your passion. One of the reasons I have a big team in Asia, it's not because I'm the smartest. I'm not the top 5 income earner, right? But I was committed. When the market opened up, whether it's Malaysia, Philippines, other leaders were there, which is much smarter than me. They earn more than me, right? But the reason I've been able to do better than they have, not because I'm smarter, and it's not because of their fault. Maybe they have other personal things going on, they have other businesses, but I was more committed. By commitment, I'll share, this is our apartment, right? Commitment was, I actually promised, that leader that joined, became a Ruby, he's going to Emerald at 12:30, Mel Claren. I told him we'll have an office. I'll have an apartment there for him. And it's like, oh, we'll have it in December. So again, leadership is integrity. If you say something, you got to do it. If you're not going to sure about do it, don't say it. So I said I was going to have an office to support him. So now they put me on the spot in early November. Simon, we're ready to get an office. We need an office right away. So what am I going to do? Say no, wait a month? Right? So I actually changed my plans. This is on the plane. This is on the ride. Hey, so I changed all my itinerary just to pay an extra $1,000 for a plane ticket, just to go there. And I had to change everything, and it was like within a 48-hour notice. Went there, and one day we looked at it. I was basically there for only 36 hours. Okay, and part of that 36 hours was that 1:30 a.m. meeting. 36 hours, we looked at 5 apartments, and I just put a down payment for an apartment. But because of that, people saw my commitment. Now, I was at the top income. I was not even a Fortune 50 at that time. Not even a Fortune 80. But they saw the commitment. And the commitment, people like that. They see this guy is serious about the market. And he is the person that does what he says. So if you're committed to your team member, whatever you say, make sure you do that. So I went there, got this apartment. Of course, did I get ripped off? Of course I get ripped off. The guys knows, like the real estate agents knows that I need to buy a place, I need to put a down payment, rent an apartment in less, I'm flying out tomorrow. They ripped me, I paid probably double what I paid. Right? Instead of getting for $400, I paid like $700 for like a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom apartment. Right? But I knew that I want to get the money back from USANA. So we did a 1-year lease, and that's how we started, from humble beginnings, making that thing, right? Making that commitment. So if you're new, but you're committed, you know what committed is? Some of your friends may think you're crazy. That's commitment. That's when you know you're committed, you're passionate. And don't worry about those friends, because they're the rest of the people. Remember, in order to be successful, what do? Do the opposite of what they do. So they think you're crazy, that's great. And you know, the more people think you're crazy, the better it is. That means you're doing something right. Think about all the successful people in this world. They got the most negative people. Right? Everyone. I mean, like, think about it. Like Steve Jobs. Back then, a lot of people were so negative on him. Right? Bill Gates. Think about how many friends will, hey, why are you dropping out of Harvard? You're crazy. What about like Mark Zuckerberg? Why are you dropping out of Harvard? What's this thing you're doing? What happens if it doesn't work? What are you doing wasting your time? Think about all the negativity. Now, after the success, and normally what happens after they're successful or they pass away, then people praise these people. So the more people you're negative about, that's good, because at least you stand for something. If everyone likes you, that means you're nobody. Right? You're nobody. You got to stand for something. Right? So that's how we started. This became our team. We did meetings. This is Shackley's Pizza. And I never did that. I thought Mike is awesome at whiteboard. I started looking at Mike at his whiteboard. I was like, holy cow. So this is the first time I did a whiteboard meeting. So these are 3 diamonds. That's Billy De La Fuente. He was at convention last year. Billy's awesome. You go to his Team Extreme. They're like the Mike Callejas version of the Philippines team. Right? Ed Ricaldi. Ed Ricaldi started from humble beginnings. Okay, everyone can be successful. This guy, so he inspired me. He was basically a gangster growing up. So he went to jail, petty crimes, stealing, theft, stealing bicycles. So he went to jail. So if you could have a jail, do you think, but there's only hope. He can like make $150 a month for the rest of his life, driving taxis, driving jeepneys in the Philippines, or his only hope was network marketing. Right, so network marketing, if you go to jail, how convincing you are when you talk to your warm markets? They probably think they joined the jail MLM, right? So what he did was he went out to the bus stops and just started talking to random people. But random people didn't know him. And he just learned how to present himself. And from then he built his business. His mentor was actually the guy, the Ruby, Mel Clarion. And when he learned, Mel would take him in, but Mel would have an apartment, he'd just sleep on Mel's floor, hardwood floor. Slept there for 6 months. And just copied whatever Mel did. Okay? And the reason Mel and Ed, they actually had networking experience, but they were so tired of these local networking companies in Philippines that go out of business. They're waiting for a multinational, 20-year-old proven company like USANA to come in. But they've been so sick. They were earning good, but they all went out of business. 6 months, they went out of business. Billy, too. His wife never let him, was like so sick. He actually always did well in every networking company. He made like 50, 1 year he made 80,000. But it's only for 1 year, 10 months, the company goes out of business. Then his wife was so tired of it. Actually, when he first started USANA, his wife got so angry at him because he had money. So you know what? He was getting married, so he actually took his wedding money to get started. And no, that was not good. That was not good. But now he's, of course, they're happy. They made all the money back. Okay? Nat Sunio, right? He was, when I first met him, he was a house cleaning at Shangri-La Hotel. Shangri-La, making like $100-something, $100-something bucks a month. But you get tips. Shangri-La, they probably get this, or maybe making $200 a month. And he had like a baby born premature. Right? And then 4 months, John. And John, they couldn't even pay the hospital bills. Debt was escalating. But he joined USANA, got started. First 6 months, he had a power leg. Other leg, you sign up people, quit. Sign up, quit. Sign up, quit. Sign up, quit. 6 months, no money. But every day, going out there, present. Finally, his wife talked to one of the colleagues, Ian De La Pena. who's a Ruby director now. Ian became, finally, after like, he's probably sponsored like 40, 50 people, and not just his directs, but all quit. So all one power like nothing. Finally, after like 8 months, Ian came in, and her boyfriend, Clark, they actually be at convention. You come, I'll introduce you to them. They made it, and he became a solid gold. And the funny thing is, they worked at KPMG, accounting firm. They're valedictorians, right? Accounting degrees, CPAs. They make $350 a month. Their office is right across the street from USANA office. They go there. After 5 p.m., they stay to 10 p.m. They work. And then they start making $100 a week. And next thing you know, they're making $200 a week, almost more than they're like, why are we working in this accounting firm? So he resigns. And people are like, wow, you're the valedictorian. Why did you resign? Oh, because of USANA. So next thing you know, a month later, I was like, 50 people joined. So where did you get these 50 people from? Oh, it's the whole accounting staff. All joined. And now, the whole KPMG, they all resigned. A lot of the silvers and golds are all from that firm. They had to apply to a whole new staff. And then from KPMG, people heard, oh, and the other accounting firms, oh, the people I used to work with, the guy who handled my account, he's no longer here. Why? Because of USANA. So all this other firm, now they use USANA. It's incredible. Like, why don't you get the momentum? But with that, he had to deal with no money for 8 months. So if you actually know the story, the whole point is here, success takes sacrifice, hard work, right? And it takes time. Be patient. And Nat was so poor, he would actually do a lot of admin work for me. Like, because of my apartment, I got his electric bill to pay. Hey, I said, I don't have time to go, because I remember, I'm $250 an hour. It's not. Can you do me a favor and pay this? Oh, well, what do you need me to do? Yeah, can you do that? Okay, give me some money. I'll pay 50 pesos. Oh, no problem. 50 pesos is like $1.20. It would take 2 hours of his time just to run across town to pay my electric bill. That's how desperate he was for money, right? That's why sometimes the hunger, you've traveled. Traveling is so good. You see how poor other people are, how hungry, how good we have it in the U.S., how we should be grateful for what we have. But the balanced success is you got to be hungry, but at the same time humble. Hunger and humble, right? You have that desire. So what do you do? We talk about ask yourself how instead of why. Your 5 core production activities. Now we talked about this. How many can you feed about? How many of you know this? What are the 5 core production activities? One at a time. The first one. Market, right? Good. Second one. Prospecting. Right? Talk to new prospects. Third one. Follow up. Next one. Yes. And the last one? Talk to your team, right? 5 things every day. You must do these 5 things. So the show must go on. Don't give reasons. Oh, I can't work. Remember, losers give reasons why. Successful people say how. I was in Baguio in Philippines, right? Baguio is like a very cool place, weather-wise. That day we went there, no electricity, blackout, right? So blackout. But like my leaders, hey, the show must go on. We just found some emergency light. We started a meeting. Over 200 people showed up. 200 people. It was like 230 people showed up to do a presentation and training. So this was in, but this is in Malaysia. They kicked us out of Starbucks. Hey, we got to sign these people up. So we go outside. There's still, from the lights from the parking lot, we still present. Keep presenting, right? So don't say my situation is different. Blah blah. I was like, just shut up. Just make it happen. Figure it out. You're not dumb. You're not like a piece of wood. You're creative. God blessed you with a brain. Think how. So that's one of the things about self-development is important. When you read success stories, when you read biographies of how people do it, you see these people don't quit. They hit a dead end. They keep going, right? You think of how. Now, one of the things when you talk about changing is like, it's just that I'm walking, right? I'm walking. And I walk, and I go here. Oh, do I keep walking? No, I want to go out there. I'm going to go outside. Do I keep walking? No. So sometimes people say, you don't quit. But you got to be persistent. Yeah, persistent, but don't keep walking the same wall. I'll never get there. So, right? So you change. That's why you got to change the way you think. Change your habits. So you think about, hey, so maybe I could walk around, right? But you don't change the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is out there. So your ultimate goal, you want to make 6 figures in USANA. You don't change the goal, but you maybe change your methods. You change your habits, your perspectives, your strategies, right? That's a big thing. So people say persistence, but persistence doing the same thing just leads to stupidity. right? But your goal stays the same, but think of how you change. So goal setting, always have goals. Right? Write your goals down. I have my goals, these are from my laptop. Goals. Even before I became successful, I wrote it down. It's $250,000. I wrote this down. I'm a leader, a winner, and I will make it. I'll visualize it every day. You know, impossible is nothing. You know, I'm not a natural networker. I'm a shy. Even right now, I'll admit to you, I'm like an introvert. That's why I enjoy driving by myself, right? For 4 hours. I like to go to movies by myself. I like to eat lunch by myself, right? I enjoy that time. So actually going out to networking, I hated it. But every time I go out, this is my goal. I said to myself, I was not going to quit for 5 years, right? 5 years, I'll stay in the business. So November 14th, 2008 was when I had to make $100,000. If I was going to make it, I'm quitting. But every day when I walk out, I said to myself, number one, I can accomplish anything. I had Muhammad Ali ready to kick my butt to remind me. And second of all, I had to go that, hey, am I going out there? Am I going to do something that's going to take me closer to my goals or further away from my goals? Are you doing that $100,000 work? Right? If you want to make $100,000, what's your hourly rate? For every $100,000 is $50. Are you doing $50 You want to be a diamond director, right? That's $250 an hour work. Are you doing that work or you're putzing around and wasting time? Because money, and here's the thing, you know, we talk about self-development, spending $20,000. It's money, it's nothing. You know, people think, oh, money, oh, I got to hold on to my money. That's like scarcity mentality. That's poverty mentality. But it's abundance. We live in the world of abundance, right? Economy is bad. But if economy is bad, how is Apple stock doing so well? How many people buying all these iPads? Right? All the businesses are closing, but Apple's doing well. Other companies, Google's doing really. Google's, you know, they're making money. So we live in abundance. So one of the things is that's why you have to throw away the income reducer, the TV. But the TV's all negative news. CNN, what does it stand for? Constant negative news. Right?
Yeah.
Constant negative news. Because I've never seen anything positive about CNN. So just think about this. I'm excited. You know, I listen to motivational tapes. I'm excited to prospect. I turn on CNN. There's some bombers. There's some fire going on. People losing homes. How do I feel? Down. You think when I talk to my prospect, am I going to be excited yet? They're going to hear my passion. So it's tough as entrepreneurs already. Stop turning. That's for the masses, okay? People, my neighbors say, oh, you know, how can you not know what's going on? I was like, let me ask you something. When was the last time there was such big news that really affected you that you need to know? You know, I'm not that old, but like I haven't had any news that I definitely needed to know. 9/11 is the only thing I could think of. But trust me, when you're 9/11, where did you hear that from? Would you hear from a loved one, or did you depending on the TV, the internet to tell you? Right? If it's really important, right, your loved one will share with the news. If there's a fire that's threatening your house, trust me, you're not going to depend on the TV to tell you the news. Right? You'll be hearing from your loved ones that'll be telling you that news. So stop. CNN, they make negative news because negative news sells. Because a lot of people, they like to watch negative news because it makes them feel better. Because they are like living like lives, unfulfilled lives. So when they think, oh, those people like that, oh, I'm better than them, so I feel good. That's selling to the masses, right? So turn off, I'm saying, I've never met anyone, the only news I read is business news, because I don't know what's going on, and I read sports. Sports that makes you feel good, right? It makes you feel good, makes you feel good. But all the negative stuff, you don't need to read that stuff. So every time I left my house, I say, hey, what am I doing to reach my goals? Right, reminded me. Dream board. You know, look, even before we had Obi, we knew what type of dog we wanted. We knew. We wanted to Bichon. So these are the dream board, our wedding. So then my new Y was Ethan. This is when he was born. So this is my dream board, my new dream board. Okay, I don't have 5 Bichons, okay? That's my goal. That's one of my dream boards. I have 5 Bichons, 5 little Obis. Self-development. Okay, if you want to double your income, you can spend an hour a day studying and reading your field. Okay? An hour a day. An hour a day doesn't necessarily have to sit and read. Could be listening to audios. All right. Now, one of the things that really drives me nuts, some people say, Simon, but I don't like to read. I'm not a reader type. I said, I know you are. That's why you're making the income you're making. So don't give me an excuse. Because you can make excuses, don't make money. Yeah, I actually didn't like to read. I'm not a reader, but I learned how to read. Right? I'll share a thing with you. That's something actually one of my high school teachers told me. SATs. Back in a long time ago, I had to take SATs, I had to take verbal. I sucked at verbal, okay? Because like English was my second language. So one of the things they made me do was, I took Princeton Review. This was actually very good. Because my parents' whole goal was to get me to Ivy League. So sent everything, like, you know, while I was first grade, I was doing third grade math, okay? Just putting me through all these stuff. So one of the things I learned, if you want to improve your English, your reading comprehension, they had me read a New York Times op-ed. When you're a 16-year-old, it's the most boring thing. You have no idea what to read. I was just saying, what is this I'm reading? But the thing is, I did it for 2 weeks. Over said, oh, this actually, I understand better. And that alone improved my reading comprehension from like a 440 to 640 SAT at that time. Right, so I learned, like, do the thing you hate doing most, and you get better at it. So if you don't like to read, hey, great, read more. Okay, I don't listen to audios. I don't know technical work. If you feel like knowing internet technical work is something you need to do, then learn. The internet right now, you can learn anything. Like the world is fast. You can learn anything. That's why Scott, you know what, my partner Scott, he's my co-applicant, right? 2 years ago, we had the whole thing in South Carolina, group of doctors. But it didn't go as big as we wanted because he was weak in marketing. I said, hey, Scott, you know, you're great at signing up people and stuff, but like, you're great at signing up people, but your marketing sucks. You got to learn the market. You're not expanding your list. So next thing you know, like I said, he went to every single seminar, bought all these marketing books, the gurus and stuff, and now he knows more than I do. So that's actually one of the reasons we partnered up, because he actually manages a lot of my internet stuff for me now. So studying. So this is my library at home. Okay? And this is before I discovered the iPad, iBooks. It's much better, okay? And one of the things, if you actually like to read, here's the thing. When you're reading, as a tip, you're not reading for a story. You're reading to get ideas. So this was something that I used to have to read cover to cover. No, you learn to speed read. There's a good speed reading course. If you're actually interested, it's a book called by Peter, Breakthrough Rapid Reading, by Peter, something like that. But the author is called Peter Kump, K-U-M-P. It's a book you actually have to sit through and go through the exercises, okay? It's a book, it's like a course in a book. Every day you got to spend 20, 30 minutes going through the courses, but you improve your reading speed so much faster. So now I read at least 1 or 2 books a week, but you get ideas. So reading is so important. Remember, like Ethan, we told him no TV. Right? No TV for a baby until at least 2 years old. And I actually done research where like even after like 2 to 5 year old is not good. Now here's something for you guys. You know they have Einstein, Baby Einstein. Baby Einstein. They actually said that again. This is a must-read book if you're expecting having a kid. Brain Rules for Babies. And they talk about Baby Einstein was supposed to be educational. But actually did studies in the University of Washington that it actually hurts you. They don't learn anything. Babies learn by social interaction. That's why kids have ADD now, because they stay watching TV the whole time. They're addicted to flashing images. Now, we don't give Ethan that. We give Ethan books, pictures, creative thinking. Let him teach him how to play by himself. So he's not like sitting there just watching images. Right? So if you're born and raised watching images, then of course he can't concentrate in school later on. Right, so Brain Rules for Babies. So they did a study, like Baby Einstein, if you watch these educational DVDs, you can expose them, they actually don't learn anything. So actually they're about to sue Disney about it. And then they did a whole thing, Disney settled, and they said, okay, no lawsuit, but they took off the educational and just called it entertainment for babies. So if you look at old packaging for Baby Einstein, it's educational tools. The new packaging is entertainment. It's baby entertainment. Because they've actually done studies where it does not teach your kids. Okay, so we started teaching him reading. This is when he was a couple months old. Me and Kelly would read. We read to him every day, right? So that's actually my proud daddy moment. If you read my blog the other day, he was playing by himself. I was like, "What's he doing?" And he was like reading by himself. That's my big proud daddy moment. Yeah. So I'll show you a video. You want to watch the video? Yes. Okay. So this is Ethan. Now I speak to him only in Chinese. Okay. You know, what's funny thing is, when I was a kid, I hated my parents. I hated being Chinese, okay? Like, I even because I had to go to Chinese school on Sundays. I was getting picked on in school. I had to go to Chinese school, and Chinese school sucked on Sundays. That means I couldn't watch the NFL. Right? And I know, so by the time I rushed back, I could only get like the late Pacific games, Coast games. And then like, because this is in New York, right? The games start later. So then like, on Saturday, I couldn't go out to play, because I had to do Chinese homework. So I remember that time I'll pray to God, oh God, I pray that I'll wake up tomorrow, I'll be like Italian, like my friend Chris Cavosa. True. But every day I wake up, I'll still Chinese. But I hated it so much. But sometimes, you know, the parents know best, right? I was telling Kelly, all the things I hated my parents doing, we're doing the same thing with Ethan. My parents used to force books. You know, you have getting a kid to read 3 B's. Remember, buy lots of books, having around. Number 2 is have baskets of books. So every room, there's books are everywhere. So he's bored, he can pick up books in the living room, the dining table room, the playroom, always books. And the 3rd thing is bedtime. Always read to him. So this is right before he's about to go to sleep, and we speak to him in Chinese. And it's called dusu. Dusu means to read. So it's time to read, okay? So I'm going to play this. Oops, hold on.
It's got turned down. Speakers are turned down.
Oh, speakers are turned down. Speakers up. Okay, turn it up. Dusu is like to read. So happy.
我们读书了，你想读书了，对不对？你看看，我们读什么书？要看读书的，爸爸。好的，我们看书了。哎呀，我们这爸爸看一本书，叫爸爸去吃东西，怎么变？唱歌没有啊？好，我们看看，我们看看是拿着整本书，拿着水，我就行了。看看，我们去看。老少上课了，老师说哪个是最幽默的？是不是狗狗？狗狗最幽默。狗狗最幽默。好，我们睡觉不拍了。OK， 我们不拍了。Good night， 拜拜。要看书。好了，上课了，老师问学生，什么动物是最用功？明明说狗会看门口。
Oops. Oh, sorry about that.
OK， 我们不拍了。Good night， 拜拜。好了，上课了，老师问学生，什么动物是最用功？明明说狗会看门口，狗狗是最用功的。狗狗。
小猫。
还在说猫会抓老鼠，猫最用功。老师说狗会做工，猫也会做工，可是狗和猫都不是最用功的。
对呀。
可以了，狗狗最用功了。那狗狗这样子，狗狗最用功对不对？抓老鼠会看门口。好了，爸爸去拿东西吃，妈妈念书，你那个跟他听。OK，Good night。
吃什么？
So that's my proud daddy moment to show off. Thank you. I mean, nothing makes you prouder. Especially, I realize self-development is so important, the learning, to have a kid that wants to read and learn. But it starts early. Right? Because it's all about programming. It's very important. So get the kid that, remember the 3 B's. Got to have a kid. Have books, baskets of books, and bedtime. Okay. So here's something to help you out for prospecting. How many of you seen some of my videos before? Has it been helpful, Liza?
Yes, very.
Okay. In what ways has it been helpful?
Inspiration mostly. Anytime I get down, I don't know, your inviting video and your objection video, I watch those ones over and over.
So to help you with your prospecting?
Yes.
Okay, so you ever want, just go to 5starworkshop.com. I was planning to sell this for $97, but I just talked to Scott and people liked it a lot. I was doing a test, so I just decided to keep it up for free. Okay, so 5-star, 2 hours, there's 2 hours, 15 minutes of training. A couple of things you get, 5 separate presentations. Number 1, how to invite your prospects. That's the video that I think Liza you're talking about. Also it talks about network marketing communication, how to communicate. Okay, how to follow up and close. Some closes there. Facts, tell, story, sell, how to tell a convincing story. And the last one, the effective presentation formula. So that's like if someone asks you, hey, what type of business you have? And you're in the elevator. You're like, oh. You only have 30 seconds. What would you say? Right? So when you watch these videos, don't just watch them. Sometimes it takes a repetition. Watch them and make sure you apply them. Okay? So basically, it's free. Just go to 5starworkshop.com. There's series 5 videos will be emailed to you. And if you have any feedback, I've been doing a lot of it. Just give me feedback, how it's helped you, because I do put a lot of time into it. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad they're helpful. So, thing is consistency. Consistency. I picked. Okay, here's something about consistency. Picnic. I used to like Friday. When I first started, before I got the success habits, I was hanging out on Friday. I remember I was with my girlfriend at a picnic, and my mentor called me. He said, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm having a picnic." He said, "What the heck are you doing having a picnic for? Friday night is payday." He said, "What the F is a picnic? You gotta get your ass going, right? Because USANA pays you weekly. We gotta have it. You know, that's why you gotta be working through the Friday night. Now, you want to hang out party? You were in the West Coast, go party at 11 or 1 p.m. But don't go, right, Mike? Mike, every leader. And I remember one day I was so, my upline was ragging. I was like, oh, I'm so sick of it. Come on. I'm working so hard. How many of you, I was like, listen, trust me. I was silver at that time. How many of your downlines are actually working as hard as I am? And he's just like, hey, stop whining, Simon, okay? Every leader from Colette to Jeremy who are making money are working their butts off on Friday. Is that true? Right? Now, they may hang out for Saturday, Sunday, but they're working on Friday to get the volumes in. And you must give yourself a deadline, a goal. Like every week is my goal. That's how my goal is. Every week I got to make $100. Right? Maybe you're starting out, maybe you're new. So your goal may be just, hey, I'm going to get 500 volume points or 200 volume points a week. But you got to have that deadline. Go. Remember, we're great bosses but bad employees. So we got to do these own things, little tricks to force us to be good employees, right? I will not, if I had $100, I will not sleep. I'll do something, right? If I didn't make it, I'll buy some products myself. And then now it's Saturday, oh, I got all these more products. I got to go sell them. But I got to make that $100 because you got to give yourself a deadline. Every company has deadlines, earnings deadlines, right? Publicly traded companies, they have deadlines. They have earnings they have to report. You're the CEO of your own company. You got to have that deadline. Because if you don't, you say, oh, I'll save it to next week. Then you're done. Because next week is going to be next week. Next thing you know, 1 month you haven't made any money. It's like the urgency. We're talking about you have to make sacrifices. We're talking to 5 people a day. You got to do that every day. Every single day. Right? There's no excuses. So, well, if you have no time, then you got to figure something out. Time management. Drop something. Give something up. Commitment. Okay, this is my partner, Scott McGee. He was a waiter at that time, right? He had the customer order. It's not even a customer order, and he didn't have anything. He was in the bathroom to take the call because he couldn't take the call while he was working, and he was just new. He was like maybe like a silver. He's not going to tell the person like not going to take a customer call. He was working. He just went to the bathroom, took the order, and a piece of toilet paper. Right? True story. Do or try. Do or try. Some people, I want to try. There's no trying, right? Trying is for, like, if you try, why are you telling you you're going to fail? I'll tell you, don't try, just quit. There's no trying. So get yours, because, like, when people would try the business, have they ever been successful? Never. So you're basically not going to be successful. Don't waste my time. I want to spend time working, training someone that will be successful. So start getting try out of your vocabulary. Do. Right? Because when someone says, I'm going to try to go to the meeting, does that person go to the meeting? I'm going to try to be on time. Never. Do. Do is like, so this doing is like going to the bathroom. Right? Do I say, I got to try to go to the bathroom. Try to go to the bathroom, you're peeing your pants. Okay? You do. That's a do thing. Urgency. So the USANA is the do. Do. Friday Night Madness. I was online. I would do some presentations, webinars, chat messages. This is my old computer, my lucky dog. Yeah, I had my goal up there, November. Every Friday night, we'll hang out afterwards. But before that deadline, we don't hang out. We have to get that weekly check. Got a $100 check. Once we got a $100 check, then we moved up. Now, I wasn't good enough to make $200 a week, but I said $700 a month. About $500 a month, then $600, $700, and then it became $300. And as some people say, oh, when can I go for rank advancement? I'm new. I want to go for silver. I want to go for gold. I think, don't worry about that yet. Just focus on getting a weekly check. Okay, make it 100, 200. If you focus on getting that, the rank advancements will come. They will come. So February 2004, $200. Right? This is my first year again. $100, weekly checks. First big check, $1,100. This is when I realized, wow, this business is good. You must believe you have achieved the success you want to achieve. So 5 core production activities. Again, I'm repeating this because I want to drill in your mind. Every day you got to do these things. Okay? Marketing. Talk to new prospects. Follow up. Self-development. Yeah, you got to have an attitude. If you don't do this, it's a failure. See, a lot of times people write their goals down. I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, but they don't get it. You know why? Because they don't do these things. I guarantee if you do these 5 things just for 1 month or 21 days, your business will change. Do it every day, 7 days a week, for 5 things, your business will totally change. And email me. Let me know how it's changed. Okay, that's what made me happy. Say, you taught that thing and you changed it. My business is growing. I'll be very happy. But if you don't make it, you failed. It doesn't matter if I signed up someone. If I didn't do self-development, that's a failure. Fail. I didn't talk to my team. I didn't follow old prospects. Fail. I didn't meet any new people. It's a failure. Now, you have too many of these failure days, and what happens next year, you're in the same position where you are. You're motivated. You have your goals down, but you got to take action. The action. So, how not to reach your goals, right? Very simple. Failure. Any day not doing the 5 core production activities is failure. Okay, we talked about how many of you want a healthy home? You're going to email me, right? Okay, here's the quiz. Let's see. Without 5 volunteers, stand up. Okay? All right. We got 1, 2, 3, and then Renee and Liza. So, and you're a little late, I'm sorry. So we'll give it a chance, okay? What's 553?
553 is
What's the first 5? Okay.
Prospect 5 new people.
Talk to 5 new people a day, right? All right. It's a healthy home. By the way, these books are not registered codes, so you have to go register them. Okay? What's second 5? Go look at your notes, okay? What's the second 5? Follow 5 people. All right. Welcome. And what's the last 3? 3. 3 presentations today. All right. All right. If you've got a book, you can sit down. All right. You can stand up. Did you get a book yet? Okay. So what's your hourly rate? What's the definition of your hourly rate?
$50 an hour.
What is the definition of your hourly rate?
Definition. It's how much you're worth, how much your time is worth. Is that what you mean?
Yep. How much your time is worth? Okay. Give her a hand, Renee. And for you, what are the 5 core production activities? What are the 5 core production activities you have to do every day?
Market.
Okay.
Let me put my glasses on.
Okay, what are 5 core production?
Market, talk to new prospects, follow up, self-development.
All right, good. See you, David. You know what you can do? Just email me too. Okay, remember the first 10 people will get a book too, but you got to email me, and I'll ship it to you. Okay, I'll have my assistant ship it out to you. Okay, but you have to do it by the deadline, Monday morning. Okay, Monday, July 30th. Time management is very important. We talk about time, right? The hourly rate, creating 2 more hours. Ask yourself, how much is your time worth? How much is Facebook costing you? There's a price to pay for Facebook. Why is Facebook worth so many billions of dollars? Because they're taking your time, and time is money. Why is why is the Super Bowl ad worth millions of dollars? Because they're taking your time. Time's your money. All that TV is not free. Internet is not free because you're taking away your time that you could be using to build your business. And like I said, money, money, like you spend money on self-development, money is not that important, really, right? Because money, you lose it, you get it back. As long as you have your health, and you have I always say, as long as you have health, and you have my brains, I'm okay. I'll lose the money, you get it back. Like spending money, you spent 20 grand on self-development, but I'll get it back. I'll lose $100 today, that sucks. Hey, go work the business, you can get it back. You can always get money back, but you can never get your health back. You can never get your time back. So as people say, oh, there's only so much money, I don't have much money. That's poverty thinking. There's tons of money out there. You just got to do the right activities. Right? Right activities every single day. So how much is Facebook costing you? What are the time thieves that are stealing your time? Like phone calls steal my time. Right? That's why I still talk to people. Like when I'm writing a blog, this is what happened. I'll give you an example. Because people who read my blog. I read my blog, it used to take me 4 hours. Now I can get it done in 1 hour. Right? I set a timer. 30 minutes, I got to get it done. And I have a great idea. I got to think. But what happens when a phone call comes in? I go there, I go back, I can't remember idea anymore. Where was I at? And it may take me another 30 minutes now to think back. Now I just lost that 30 minutes. And even if I get that back, the blog wouldn't be as good because my idea is gone. The inspiration is gone. Right? That's why you have to deal with your emotions, your energy level. When you're high energy, you do your most creative, you do your prospecting work. Right, so I like to prospect after I work out. I work out in the gym, I feel good, I immediately prospect. I do my writing, I do my reading, self-development. You tell me to read at night, I'm a morning person. I'm like, I just read a page for 10 minutes and nothing will enter my brain, right? So, time thieves, stealing your time every second. So how can you do more in less time? So a lot of people have to email me about the time thing. Some of you may have actually taken this. Did you take this, Gwen? I have an Extreme M1 Productivity course. Okay, it's a 2-hour course. It actually gives you time management tips, over 35 tips, and also 2 bonuses. One is like 35 secrets to productivity. For example, a secret to productivity. If you travel, some of you leaders who travel, right? On the plane, it's spent, when you're on the plane, it should be either sleeping or doing work. That's one thing I learned at the MBA, Cutthroat MBA, right? There's a great book. If you want to exceed in corporate America, a great book called How to Become CEO. And basically teach you, the people who excel in corporate management, when they're on the plane, they're working. They're not socializing. Right? How I met Wang Jiji, became good friends, while all my other friends were like at the bar drinking, I was actually networking with them. Actually, it's also about hard work. How Wang and I became, you want to hear a story about Wang? You know how I became good friends? Some people say I'm lucky. When I first went there, he was the first Chinese player to play. So obviously his parents in China were very proud. We had the game on tape. I knew that, his parents would be proud, right? So I got to get the tape out. So after the game, I went to the production. I got the tapes. I had to make a double of the tape. Now, the game ends at 11 p.m. Game ends at 11 p.m. Fans are going home. They're going to a bar, hang out. I'm at the production house. Finally, at 12 o'clock, I get a copy of the tape. Then I have to go all-nighter to do a PAL, to convert, because in China, they don't use NTSC, they use PAL format. So I got to convert to PAL. Then I got to get converted to VHS tape. Then I got the next morning, while people are sleeping in, I wake up early to go to Kinko's, to FedEx. FedEx is out to China. So his parents get it early in time. Okay? I never hear no thank you note. 3 weeks later, I go back to Dallas again, and this is how I became. So I remember, I'm trying to network. Other people hang out after the game. I go to the locker room. I'm trying to get it in with Wang. And this is way before USANA, okay? So I'm there, and then I met this newspaper reporter that I became friends with because while other people were hanging out, I went to network with them. I went to hang out with them for a dinner. I don't like this guy. He's not my personality, but I network just to build a relationship. Right? You got to do things that most people don't want to do. So I network with him. So I'm out there. Afterwards, 3 weeks later, go out there. I'm with the newspaper reporter again. And I asked, well, hey, Wang, I'll take you out to dinner. So I think like an NBA player would hang out with me. I said, oh, no, I got plans and stuff. We're playing cards. And it's like, I said, what are you doing? And then Wang was close to the reporter. Right. And then Wang's, oh yeah, you know, thank you. He's like, hey, thank you, by the way, for those tapes. My parents got them. It was really cool, really nice of you. Right? Thank you so much. And then it's like, what are you doing tonight? I was like, oh, I got plans playing cards. And like, and then the reporter was like, hey, Wang's tight with the reporter, right? Because they're both from Beijing, they get along. Because Dallas is not many Chinese. So he's like, what are you doing? And then we're gonna go to a restaurant and eat. And then he's like, and then Wang's like, what about Simon? You know, I heard, I could hear, and then the reporter, because I went out with him for dinner. That dinner I never wanted to go. Oh, he's cool. Yeah, you can maybe bring along. So Wang's like, oh, hey Simon, you know what? We're going out, but you're welcome to join us. That is how it all started. Okay, doing that one extra thing, that all-nighter when I was dubbing those tapes, like no one else, everyone was hanging out, going to sleep. I was at the production truck making PAL copies. Next morning, waking up next morning to FedEx them to China. All that stuff no one sees. And then of course I hang with my friends. They're like, "Oh, Simon, you're so lucky. You got to cool along." Yeah, I'm lucky, right? So lucky. So I used to travel all the time with MBA. One of the things, how to become CEO, when you're on the plane, you're either working or sleeping. Sleep is very important. I always sleep on. So one of the productivity tips is like, when you go to, you always go early. For example, when you go on the plane, always get to the airport early. Because if just say if you're almost there, you're rushing, right? You barely get to the gate, and you make it to the plane. Now, when you get on a plane, can you work? You're like, your stress hormones. Can you sleep? You may be up the whole flight, right? So here's something. You get to the airport early, and you got time to kill, but now you're your laptop, you're your phone. You can start networking. And you're at the gate 1 hour early doing work, right? And that's 1 hour you got to be at the airport anyway. And then when the plane gets on there, you're like tired already. And you automatically fall asleep. That alone, if it's like a plane ride, it'll be 2 extra hours. Right? So small productivity tips that really makes it. Now it could be 15 minutes here, 15 minutes here, but it all adds up. So those are some of the tips. $15. Okay, it's recorded. You can go there. Just go to MLMtimemanagement.com, and then you can access recording. So you actually have a video and MP3, and also the outline of the slides. Okay, I'm very, very anal about time management. It's actually really when I start being anal, that's how my business grew. Because all the things that were sucking up my time, especially the timer, random phone calls, once I got rid of that, I could really focus on the 5 production activities. And when you are part-time, it's even more important to be good with your time. Because you still got your job to do, right? And family. So maybe let's take a break. Then we'll go to prospecting skills later. Is it a good time to break? Or you want me to keep going?
We're going to kick us out of here in about 15 minutes.
Oh!
Yeah, let's take just a real quick, about like 5 minutes. 5-minute break.
I don't need a break. I can keep going. What do you guys want to do?
Let's take 5 minutes.
5 minutes? And then we'll wrap. Okay.
Well, we'll kind of